Blaze, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Incredible now that I'm hearing from you.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here with Bill right now, and we want to put in an offer on Stonewall. Pull up 100 Stonewall Road, Columbia. So this is probably the nicest of the houses that we looked at.
I don't know where you're going to find a value prop on a house like this.
That was kind of my fear. So issues with it that I saw, I mean, it is dated, kitchen needs to be refreshed, floors need to be fixed, and the garage is currently converted into
Living
space.
But most of these houses are trading at like 200 or 225 a square foot right now, right?
Approximately.
So the problem is the actual asking price is like fixed up price.
Totally. I felt like to do this right, we'd have to come in at like 225 max, and even that could be fairly tight. And it's in a nice neighborhood for Columbia.
What is this picture? Don't do that.
It's a kid.
When you're taking a photo, don't do that. These like tiles are messed up. So what do you think that you would offer on a house like this?
200,000.
Why? How did you get there?
So there was nothing majorly structurally, but I have to assume that it could be one thing. So I took out $10,000 off the top. So I think the roof might need to be updated.
Okay, $10,000 for a potential roof. So let's forget about repair costs.
Okay.
Let's try to create a duplicatable equation that you have after repair value minus some things, minus repair costs, minus profit equals your offer. Because then you have an equation that you can repeat, right?
Okay.
So what do you think?
So ARV minus interest, minus closing costs.
Okay, so what if we did like a percentage for interest, closing costs, these kind of things? That was a percentage that we know is going to be a fact, right? So how much money do you think that we'll pay in interest?
For me, probably like 12% because I don't have a name in this yet.
So 12% annualized.
Yeah.
For how long will we hold the property potentially for?
4 to 6 months.
Yeah, so let's say 6. Quick math, how much percent of the purchase price is it?
6%.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Good. Holding costs are somewhere around 3% probably. So that would be like 3% of 300,000 would be 10,000 bucks. So that's like fees, landscaping, electricity, that kind of stuff. So now we're at 10% for realtor fees, holding costs, things like that.
I mean, obviously
Anything
the repair
else?
costs. But
Yeah, so repair costs, because we want to walk into something of X minus repairs equals our offers. Then we know what we can offer quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, is staging something? Do we want to stage a house like this?
Potentially, staging might be like 1% of the purchase price.
Okay. I believe there are support beams in that wall. I'm talking to you right now based off my knowledge from watching TV shows.
Okay.
So like I don't know the actual construction cost of this.
Yeah. This is the master?
No, that's a master bath.
This is?
Yeah. It looks like a closet door that was converted into a bathroom.
Where is this bathroom?
Opposite the master.
How much profit do you want to make?
I mean, I'd like to make at least like 20,000 on it.
Oh, come on. We got to put at least. I like to do 15% of the amount of money that we have into the property,
Okay.
Especially on a house like this, because you're gonna eat into that. So even if we took 30K off of this as a profit, your offer's 182,000. What you'll find a lot of times is you're offering right around 50 to 60% of ARV.
Yep.
So almost all the houses that I bought in Pensacola were half ARV.
So this house really would make sense like 175.
I would consider maybe paying up to 190 on like a MAO max allowable offer, but we'd have to really dial in I would want to go look at the property.
So without seeing it, what would be a safe offer to put in?
I would say like 180K. You could counter back up to like 190 with obviously there'll still be a contingency of inspections. But yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity. I would make an offer on that.
Blaze, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Incredible now that I'm hearing from you.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here with Bill right now, and we want to put in an offer on Stonewall.
Just Stonewall.
Yeah. So we were running the numbers on all these places, and it's not looking great on the majority of them. I mean, they might not like it, but we were looking at it, and like 175, 180 is the top of what we think we could get a profit on.
And for the other ones that you're looking at as well, why would you not throw out an offer on the other ones as well, just to see what you could probably top out on? I mean, obviously, I'm here to write an offer for anything and everything that you guys would like me to write up, and I'm willing to do it. But I'm just kind of seeing where you guys are at with the other properties and where you would come in at with an offer on those.
So one of them is I know the guy who owns it, and I know what he paid for it, and I know he's not going to take it. So I don't want to waste your time.
Okay. So on the offer, can you write up some of the things that you would like me to put into the paperwork for it? So that way I can start my homework up and start really kind of negotiating the terms with the seller's agent.
Yep, for sure.
So is there anything that you guys would need from me in addition to obviously the simple things like writing up that offer and talking to that agent? Obviously that's all taken care of, and I'm gonna make sure that happens. But is there anything else that you guys need from me on your end right before I write it up? Because there's just one thing that I think I need from you guys, and that's the right to represent you guys on this one. There's a document that you guys have to sign for that, which I'm sure Bill is aware of. So that way it basically states, hey, I have exclusive right to represent you on this offer.
That's fine. Yeah, send it over.
Okay, perfect. I'll get all that stuff put together in an email for you as soon as I get the cover sheet of kind of what your offer will look like, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep, bye.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So you'll get real estate agents that will reach out to and they'll say, oh, hey, before I show you houses, you need to sign this document for me. This guy didn't do that. He kind of like showed you some houses and stuff, and now he just wants to know, hey, I'm gonna write up this offer, but in 6 months or 3 months or 2 months from now, if they say no now and they come back and they buy it from you, I wanna get paid. Perfectly fine. Now, if what he sends over says, I have exclusive right to represent you on all transactions in Columbia, Mount Pleasant, Spring Hill, those kind of things, and you'll see agents wanna do that. Typically, a lot of times you'll see new agents are the worst. They'll be like, hey, before I show you this property that you can find on your own on Zillow, I want you to sign this paperwork that says I'm representing you in all your transactions. What are you talking about? Like, they're fresh out of school usually. They're in a scarcity mindset instead of an abundance mindset. And so for us, the goal of a flipper and a real estate investor is we take care of the people that bring us things. We take care of them and they'll take care of us. So just don't sign a whole bunch of stuff that realtors send you without us talking about it first.
Totally. He said I have to write up bullet points for the offer.
Yeah, so let's talk about what those bullet points will say. So one thing that you should think about is, so we got purchase price. That's not the only thing, right? Okay. So then there's financing contingency that we could write in. There's inspection contingencies. There's a closing timeline. So all of these things kind of come to play, right? Who represents us on the title company? What title company are we going to close at? There's all kinds of things on a contract that you have to write in there. When I send an offer in, I'll send purchase price, closing date, inspection timeline, any contingencies that I have, and then whether the buyer or the seller are going to pick. So in Florida, it's very easy. If the buyer picks the title company, they pay for a lot of fees in closing. If the seller picks the title company, they pay for a lot of those fees. A good agent will call the other agent and be like, hey, tell me a little bit about this. Like, what's important to you guys? What's important to the seller? Those kind of things. I want to make sure that the offer speaks to that. We probably don't have that here. Specifically, an agent who's been around for a very long time, has a relationship with the other agents. So let's just pick our purchase price, our closing timeline, our inspection contingency, like the timeline for inspection. The other thing is when we want a response by. So there's a little area on there that says this offer is good for X number of days. So remember, emotion, logic, and fear sells everything. Fear being time-based decision making. So we want to kind of put them on the clock a little bit. I would say purchase price. So put that down.
Yeah, purchase price 175.
Closing timeline. So let's see when we want to actually close on the property. The other thing we didn't talk about is putting an earnest money deposit down. Like, how much are we going to put down on an EMD? So earnest money deposit is a deposit that goes in to say we're serious. It can be anywhere from $1, $10 up to $100,000.
We're putting this in just to make the offer, or once they accept the offer?
So when they accept the offer, we would wire in or give a check, cashier's check to the title company, an earnest money deposit, and that says, hey, if we don't meet all the things that we say we're going to do in this contract, you can keep this. In this case, we should probably put in like $1,000. Put 1,000 EMD. Let's put in a 3-day inspection contingency, which is pretty short. It's fast for them. So there's a couple levers you can turn here, right? Okay. Speed of closing, how quickly we'll say like no contingencies, like we actually don't need to do any inspection, no financing, no nothing. Put no financing contingency on it, and then they can pick the title company. That's pretty much it. All right, purchase price 175, closing timeline October 26. All right, looks good to me. Submit that offer.